Hello guys, welcome to our today's lesson. We want to look at differentiation rules, and we have about 6 rules that we follow when we are working out derivatives of functions. We are under complex analysis, and we want to look at how one can easily work out the derivatives of complex numbers. So let us start. The first rule deals with the constants. The constant, for one to find the derivative of a constant, or when you work out the derivative of a constant, it will obviously give you a zero. It will obviously give you a zero. Let's say maybe this is c here, c for a constant. This one will give us 0. So the second rule is for the sum stroke the difference. The sum stroke the difference. Let us start with the first one, sum. So when you work out the derivative for the sum, or when you carry out addition and you want to work out the derivative for the same, you will have to say, let us assume that we have two functions, f of z, then plus g of z. The derivative will be, the derivative of the two functions will be, in fact, you find the derivative of the first function plus the derivative of the second function. What about the difference? We are going to do the same thing, but we change the sign here. D over dz of the function of the two functions. This one will give us, in fact, the derivative of the first function, then minus the derivative of the second function. The derivative of the second function. Now, the next one, the third one, is the quotient rule. The quotient rule. The quotient rule, when we want to find the derivative, when we want to find the derivative of these two functions, that is f of z divided by g of z, this one will give us what? This one is the same as saying you first of all take the denominator, you multiply by the derivative of the numerator, and then you take away the numerator, you multiply this by the derivative of the denominator. Then you divide everything by the square of the denominator, the function at the denominator, and that is it. The fourth rule, this one is for product rule. What does it say? It says when you want to find the derivative of these two functions, f of z and g of z, when they have been multiplied, this is the same as saying you take the first function, you multiply by the derivative of the second function, then you add the second function, then you multiply it by the derivative of the first function. That is it. The next one is the power rule. And what does it say? The power rule, what does it say? The power rule says when you want to find the derivative of this function z raised to power n, when you find the derivative of this function, it will give you n z raised to n minus 1 z um, z raised to n minus 1. The last one, the sixth one, is the chain rule. The chain rule. What does it say? The chain rule, when you have this function and you want to find the derivative, that is f into g of z. This is the function that you have. When you get the derivative of this function, in fact, is the same as saying you find the derivative of the outside function, which is f prime of g of z. Then you multiply this by the derivative of the inside function. And that brings us to the close of the differentiation rules. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and share this video.